having another building for storage and stuff like that is nice to have. My concern is, and I'm not saying I'm against your building, because we tried for years to get different things, and I understand that. But as you guys are elected officials, we expect you to be physically and financially responsible, okay? I also hear, and it was the same issue that when I was here, the truck is on its last legs. The truck was on its last legs when I had it, okay? So I guess my concern is, the way I look at things is needs and wants. You need a truck, because that's the backbone of this thing. Okay? I understand you want the building, I understand Jay wants the building. For doing stuff, and it makes things a lot easier, I understand that. But you're saying $13,000 for that building.
Yeah.
Okay, that $13,000 and say another $5,000 or $6,000 added to that, that's a pretty nice truck.
Depends if we could use the same money for the vehicle
That's the issue.
as we can the shed.
Well, and I understand that, and I know that you guys are
This
doing,
money for that money.
you're doing really good, I understand, because you've been banking money, I understand, I heard that in the last meeting, and that's great. You know, because in the, this last little oopsie over here by the railroad, that was could have been a very major expensive. I mean, it really could have. In that aspect there, and I know you ain't supposed to talk about the other stuff, but it kind of still all falls in the same thing. That is something that this young man here could have easily fixed himself if he had the help.
And if we knew how deep that was.
This is a two-man job. This public works director, I did it for when I first hired on here for a year and a half by myself, and we got hardly nothing accomplished. It was determined, and I showed determined. The public works is a two-man job. We were hiring out all the time. When I took over this job, they were hiring out everything that had to be done in this town. They were hiring out to have it done. The council, I'm not sure if Tim, you were on there just yet or not, but the council came up and said, this is wrong. We've got our own equipment. Why aren't we doing our stuff? I says, okay, give me the time. Let me practice. Let me get the backhoe. But you got to have me help. You can't just take any bloke off the street and say, here's a spot for him. That doesn't work. I do this for a living. Now, I operate heavy equipment. I dig water and sewer lines. We dig around all this stuff. You've got to have a competent guy in there spotting plus operating. I know Jay can dig with the backhoe, and he's very good at it. But you still got to have a competent guy in there.
We're getting off track here.
You're right. But I'm just saying, for financial responsibility, all I'm asking is that we take a look. I understand the building, don't get me wrong. We tried for years doing things over there, the same thing. I mean, we had all kinds of ideas. But I look at the needs and the wants. I understand you want it, but you do need a truck.
So where is the funds coming from?
Water and sewer.
Water and sewer? So
Yes,
this
see, right
building,
now in our water, we have about $85,000.
so you're storing a lawnmower and Christmas decorations in a building that to me doesn't come under water and sewer. And we're also kicking the can down on the road, which I'm really glad that Mike brought it up. So if you can't cover the truck, we have this building with a roof that hasn't been addressed for how many years?
Yep.
I mean, I guess priorities, I think, are the biggest deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do understand that there are the priorities. I would very much like to get rid of this building and move into the fire hall over here. As soon as Mike gets
Let's
the
work
new
it out,
fire
man.
hall
I know it.
I
down
have a
below here.
question on this. So we can leave another dilapidated building in town?
No, this is
No, we're gonna get rid of this one. That's just my opinion. This is something that none of these guys have probably even looked at or heard about or anything, so.
No, it's something Tim and I talked about a lot.
Yeah. But that's way off the subject. It has nothing to do.
I understand your building, the money that that this building is coming for, that comes out of the water and sewer
It
fund?
comes out of the water sewer fund.
So does the truck? Is the
Partial.
truck covered under?
Partial.
Truck,
Truck, the majority of the
Yeah,
money
that's
for a truck will
split.
come out of your water sewer fund as well.
Okay. That's what I'm asking.
So
I'm
we
just,
could,
I'm
I guess
balancing
to
it
answer
out.
your question, it isn't either or though. It wouldn't be either or. We know we need a
It's all,
truck. That truck's coming.
yeah,
It's gotta be.
I mean, it's not Roger knocking now, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's just a matter of time. and-
That's not an either or. The question is, do we want this building? And I think there's some interesting points that's come up tonight about have we pursued existing facilities to their very end? And if they aren't serviceable, can we make them serviceable for less than what we're paying for a new building?
Yeah, I don't know, on them doors, I don't know, we,
We beat that to death.
I've rebuilt on them doors and fixed the best we
Maybe it
can.
needs a new door.
That's a possibility, and
I
the
mean,
big
and
sliders
we might be
are,
able to put a new door in there for half of what we're paying for a new building and have more space and better use of the space. So, these are questions that I want answered before I make a decision. Have we pursued what we already have?
Well, the only way I think that you can get a good perspective of what we already have is, you guys need to stop in over there at the shop
I agree.
and look at everything that's there and kind of think about where you would put it. And then go over to the log cabin over here and see how much stuff they put in there, so that that can also be moved into that storage place.
So we have things spread out
Yes,
in multiple buildings.
yeah, and then there's stuff in the.
When can we do that? Cause I don't wanna take up Jay's time doing that 4 different times. I think
I've already been there,
yeah,
I know.
I understand you have, you're well aware of what we have. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you're pushing for the new building.
I am pushing for rebuilding.
So let's, because I guess we are the ones that vote on this,
Yep,
let's make sure that the council knows. Nate, you probably know more than I do about what facilities are around. Bill, I don't know whether you're familiar with it, but I'm not. So I really would have a problem with voting yes for this if we had to vote right now. Cause I don't know enough. Does that make sense?
yes, it does.
And especially when there's only 3 of us up here. It's not a good thing.
So I would like to take a little bit of your time
That's fine.
in the near future
Yeah,
to show me what you got and where you got it,
yeah, we could do that.
okay?
Monday, we have Monday off. Tuesday I have training. Wednesday I have samples and some other stuff to do. So Thursday or Friday,
Okay,
I could.
all right. I'll call you and
Okay. Or we can do it
solidify something.
Monday too if you wanted.
If we wanted to get together, I can do it Friday, I'll be off.
Will ya?
Yeah.
Let's do it Friday
I
then.
have a question.
Okay.
And this would be open to anybody, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, the public could do that and walk around with us and see what we got, where we got it. Yeah, and it might help you answer your questions.
Well,
if
I've
you've
pretty
been in
much
there.
been in there, and
How long
I know
ago?
that we need to go up, that there's a couple of us gals that need to go up and rearrange, and we've had 1 sick, so I haven't had time to go up and sort through some stuff upstairs to eliminate some stuff, but I'm, that was kind of in the works, so that's why I was gonna ask Jay if we could get in Monday, cause I could go in Monday and do it or something, but, yeah, I know we need to go in and eliminate some of
There's
our
obviously
stuff
a
up
need,
there.
or Jay
Yeah.
wouldn't be.
Yeah, and no, I'm not,
Okay,
like
so-
I said,
So we gotta remedy the issue that you have, you know, one way or the other.
Yeah.
but I just think when you present it to the public, you really need to be, you know, like it's lawnmowers and da-da-da that we're using this for, 'cause
Well, I think if the
people are-
public is interested, they should be walking around with us on Friday.
Yeah. I agree.
What time you gonna do it?
Well, are you gonna put it like on Facebook and tell the public what you're doing, and if
Put it
they're
notice in the
interested to
post
come look at
I
it?
would think so.
No one's door
So we can tear it down.
You wanna put it on Facebook?
I can
You're
do
gonna
that.
put it on Stromberg site.
encourage people not to look at that because of assassinations they do.
Somebody's really got. some
I don't have it, so it
I
doesn't
wanna
seem
Can we do it
make
at
a
4 o'clock
proper
Friday-
page or
Friday afternoon?
Facebook, I'm afraid to.
Got enough daylight?
Can we do it at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon?
Yeah,
Okay,
should be able to.
okay, let's
That's your
make a
shot.
plan.
Okay. Because I believe that we have the money.
Oh, I think we
And
do too.
we just need to
Meanwhile, if you'll
figure it out.
get bids on it, so we'll have figures.
Yeah, I
We
really
need a solid,
like,
hard bid.
yeah,
And the other thing, I mean, I get the convenience of the pad down there, but even down at the bulk water station, if we could actually do something to where, I mean, you could access right off, cause there's road there already. And then build like or pins to where we can actually keep our road mix, gravel, road base, and have slots to where if he needs something, he's got a backboard he can dig it against, whether it's Jersey
Oh,
barriers.
yeah, cause we have to go
Stack.
around in circles,
Yeah,
push it back over.
that's not a bad
What if
idea
we
either.
staged out like a
Yeah.
true.
What we were gonna plan, that's what we tried to do.
Yeah,
Well,
we
Jersey
tried to
barriers.
get concrete barriers to do just that.
Yeah, like the big
Yeah,
block
exactly.
crate
Yep.
ones.
Yeah, and we have a couple,
We can
three,
make a
but that's
bunch
all
from
we
the
got.
ballpark.
I don't know where they're even at anymore.
What you just brought up is a way that you could back into it now and stuff like that. When you've got it down at the ball field, you're either pulling across the grass and getting stuck and rutting it all up, or, you're gonna deal with cleaning out a lot of alleyway to get to it.
Yes,
In terms of that pad and putting a building on it that doesn't cover the pad, whatever kind of base you put under that, you're probably gonna have a problem with rotting it down, rotting it out. You know, you have that extra pad, it's a problem. So, you know, I mean, for longevity, I would think either fill up the pad or take out part of the pad or move it somewhere else, because I think in the long haul, it would not be a good investment.
well, what we were looking at is to put the building on it, a 20 by 20. The slab is 30 by 30. And then putting an overhang over it the first year on the south side. And then the next year, putting one over the front. And that way it covers the slab. It also would protect the concrete. And it gives something for these guys when they're out there with the lawnmower or whatever, they can pull it up on that and be out of the sun. And protected from the weather or whatever, because if they're over there mowing and we get a shower come through, they could just whip in there rather than drive all the way back over here.
Drive all the way back and get wet.
I had a question, and it goes back to Mike. Was there vandalism when you was there down at the ballpark, or was it prior to you being there? The vandalism that
Oh, no,
happened?
it was vandalism when we were there. Yeah, they
So-
went out and
so-
spun the Brodies in the field and.
So I'm kind of wondering, you know, when you're storing equipment and stuff like that,
That's
What
one of the
you might
reasons
be-
why we looked at a building with no windows. And that would not give anybody an opportunity to break them. And if they wanna break into the building, they can, you know, not saying that
It's-
5 gallons of gas might come up missing.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. All a lock does is keep an honest person honest. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter. If they want it, they're gonna get in it.
oh, yeah, yeah. but
Because
I'm
there ain't many doors that this key in my bottom of my foot won't open.
Well, I'm just saying, it's a, where you have it positioned, it's not a,
Well, it's not the ideal
it's,
security spot, but if we put it down there by the pumps, then it's worse yet.
I think you're worse down.
We don't
the
have what you
Okay.
call an ideal spot.
If you're putting it over there, ideally, I would look at putting a big yard light
Well,
up
there,
over the top of it.
there is one that shines there on the corner of the asphalt right there.
But I mean,
How
I would
big is
definitely
that-
look at
that
lighting
building
it
we're
now.
talking about that has the bad door. What's the size of it?
What is that building? Is it probably
Which one?
your, where you park, used
The
to park
metal
tobacco
one?
in, that metal building, right here by the shop?
Next to the shop.
Those big sliders.
That's,
Yeah, with those sliders, it's probably what, 20 feet?
Oh, at
20 by
least
20?
Yeah,
At
it's
least.
20 by 30 or so, give or take.
20 by 20,
Yeah.
20 by 30, something
Yeah.
like that at least.
What if we tore that down and put this building on in?
You might not want to open that can of worms. It's kind of connected to the other building.
Is it?
Yeah, it's been a hot.
It's kind of a, yeah, it's been a kind of, like, you're right, it's kind of a hodgepodge together. I'm not so
Yeah.
sure I'd want to attempt to do that. If you're gonna look at doing something like that, I would look at seeing what it would take to actually
And
fix
one
that
thing that we
building
have to
up.
consider is this is a commercial building, and we have to go by commercial codes. We have to have everything inspected by state inspector. So everything we do has to be inspected and verified and made sure before it's actually put in. And if we started in on that building,
Yeah,
we may have to tear down the whole thing.
Yeah.
just to put a new door in?
Well, I don't know about a new door, but if we start a new structure,
For repairs, you'd be all right, but if you tried to do, like you said, to tear down the structure,
Tear down
then
the
you got a
building,
new
yeah.
they
code.
would wanna put a new, because then we get into the structure.
Yeah.
Yes, Elton?
I don't know how that building's setting or anything, what the foundation is or anything.
This one is?
But I would, yeah, the one next door, but I would think that you could take out that giant door, put in a frame, cement in whatever new studs, whatever, cut the size of that door down, both height and width, and you'd say, I mean, just by cutting off a few feet off the top, you'd save probably more than 50% of the cost. It would probably cut it in 2/3 just by cutting down to a sensible dimension, and you could still use it for more than the shed that you're proposing down here at the ballpark.
If you get rid of the height.
Narrowing, maybe, okay, height,
And you gotta,
not if you're pulling, and that's the perfect place for tobacco.
What you're messing with is the integrity of the building, which then we would have to have a state inspector come in and verify that everything was structurally sound.
Aren't they gonna have to come in and verify this is structurally sound?
Yes.
It's a push.
If you have an
Push it,
independent
this will
frame,
make
if you have the
it.
frame independent, it's no
Well,
problem.
yeah, not the way it is.
This
Not
is
the
a
way
brand
it
new
is.
building, and he's very familiar, the state inspector is very familiar with
This
the
construction.
builder and these type of buildings.
Okay.
He said he wouldn't have a problem.
What about installation?
We're not gonna insulate because we're not gonna heat
Include
it.
that with the bid,
There's no insulation with the bid.
there'll have to be.
Well, we wouldn't
We'll
insulate it.
need to know what that costs too,
We weren't gonna insulate it.
not insulated, installation. Bringing it
Install.
up,
Install.
Yeah, that is installed.
Oh, yeah,
That is
that's,
That's installed.
Yes. Yeah, they haul it up on a trailer, it's got a bunch of rollers on it. But anyway,
Well,
yes,
I see both sides, I'm not really on a side with this, but if I was going to pick, I like the idea over there, because we're trying to get it green there again.
Yeah.
And so to have that stuff right there instead of coming back and forth, I don't know, even if we had a little shed there that we had all these hoses and stuff, and then when you go to, it's laying around, and you go to mow, it's just,
Well, I think where some of the misunderstanding is they were understanding it was pipe, not
well, that
pipe for that. They're assuming people are pulling in and out,
Oh,
Lacy.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And-
you will
and-
have to be able to drive, if you're gonna have a building that big, then you're gonna have a lot of big things
Yeah.
that you're putting in there, so you
Well,
will have
and
to be driving on
that's the
that stuff.
thing, wait, that's the next thing that comes up. You have little kids, where are you driving? That's their other question. Most people don't have people pulling across in parks and stuff.
Most people don't,
So put a gate in on the chain link
places
fence
are
and go
filled with
across the
little kids
asphalt.
unless
There's
it's
no
baseball
chain
game.
link fence.
it's
gone.
chain link fence.
no, the chain is still, the fence
There's
is
a
still
fence
there
all the way around
between
the
court.
park
And the
and
back side of
the
that.
asphalt.
I'm saying drive across the asphalt, put a gate in right there, then you don't drive across your grass.
Well,
Oh, and back
There's-
up right there?
no.
Oh, I see.
yeah, then you could just pull right up and you have the doors on the side.
And you're on asphalt, you're not driving
oh,
on.
if you put it on the asphalt is what you're saying. Oh,
No, put the building on a cement pad, and then just come right across the asphalt to the, where that chain link fence
Well,
is. and
will
put a gate
driving
there.
on it make the asphalt even worse than it already started?
You can't get the asphalt any worse than what it
Okay,
is.
okay.
It's
It's not, okay, I mean, it is bad, I know.
Go down and work.
It's
We need
really
to-
hard to,
It was
Need
built
to
for
kind of
tennis
focus a
cars
little
off
bit
the
here.
driveway.
that'd be awesome.
Well, I don't know how much further we can go, unless you guys wanna vote. I'm not,
Yeah, there is.
We
I'm not,
together
I'm not
Friday.
gonna vote
I
yes.
remember
Talk
somebody
about it.
stripped and put a knee on one of them.
Okay.
You do have alleyway coming down the back side of that.
I think that alley's been closed.
That alley has not been closed. That alley has been ignored. You don't close alleys. Except for this council, they close them and give them away. Not you
Not
guys,
this
not you
council.
guys.
Not this council.
Not
That
you
was a
guys.
distance statement.
Yeah, not you guys, sorry.
Are you talking going between Pruitt's place and the
Uh-huh.
asphalt?
And or the other way.
I would come in the other way, cause you also gotta take into effect your water line is not that deep right through there.
Yeah, but that you can come in that direction by, in between what Joe Bowen's
Yeah, I
owns
think
and
we
that
get
other,
together
and
Friday.
that's straight
Yeah,
back
And
out.
we gotta put our heads together and go
Yep,
somewhere. 'cause
and
this is-
maybe by
I
the,
just
by
caution
the
I'm
time
going
the next
this way in
meeting.
there because
And we can
it's
have
ready.
things
we
a
can-
little better.
Yeah,
That's why
organized
we
in
shut
our
it down
minds,
for
whichever
drainage,
you guys
so
think.
they're supposed to drain it
Good.
because it'll freeze on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just
Oh,
on
going
grandstands,
across.
obviously.
I got
Put it
you.
down,
So when you guys
say
talk
that
about
you're
this door
driving
thing
on it
with
as
that
an
building,
alleyway, then you're gonna end up
so
freezing that water.
this
Okay.
guy,
No, that's good to
Joliet,
know.
rolling right
But it's
doors.
okay the
It's
other
only down-
direction.
It's only down 3 to 4 feet.
I met the gentleman and real honest, and he's done some work for the city of Bridger when they were working on the furniture factory, changing a whole bunch of doors.
yeah,
So you might consider inviting him to come at the same time and
Sure.
have him look at that. Like what Eldon's talking about, you could, it's a Quonset you guys are talking about, right?
No.
This is the
No, it's
A-frame
square,
steel
square
building.
frame
Yeah.
type.
Okay, so it's possible, like what he's talking about, is you can frame it off and then maybe put in a roll-up with it.
yeah.
Get rid of those sliders.
Troubles me.
So you might consider giving that guy a call and have him come down, same time you guys are going down there.
I
And
gotta bet they're close to.
You know,
I gotta bet
he's
they're
looking
close to
at it
10-foot
and
doors.
he'll tell you what it's gonna take maybe
I
to
bet
put a
they're
roll.
close to
So he does work down at
Well,
Warren,
14.
Yeah, I bet they're at least a
for Warren
20-foot door.
Trucking, their
It's
shops,
wide open.
for
It's
the
gotta be at least
mine,
a
yeah.
20-foot open.
Wyoming
Really?
limestone, so I mean, he does this
20
kind
foot
of
wide.
crap.
I'd like to know what
And
he.
it's possible,
Oh,
At least
yeah.
14.
you guys could get rid of them
14,
sliding
16.
doors.
Look
They're
right through.
miserable.
Keep the same
Somebody could
height.
break
And
into
put in a roll-up
Yeah.
door.
Yeah,
Okay, well then
that's
that's
what I had in
cheap.
mind, cause I didn't even know there
You
were
could go 12
sliders.
to 14
Yeah,
foot
they're,
wide.
That'd be
the
easy.
sliders
Yeah,
are,
couple big
Especially
ones.
they
on-
work good when they were new and they're
In
not
a
all the
barn,
time.
they're meant for a barn.
Yeah, but they don't even work good on barn, I got to say. But, you know, you might consider doing
That
that.
pipe that's in there, we use it.
When we looked at
Super
that
honest guy.
Yeah, that
before,
was
I know Mike
some
was
kind
looking at it.
of, yeah, sewer pipe or something.
What was the price, Mike,
It
on
was gotta
a
be.
new roll-up door
Look,
for
I
that
actually
building?
stick that up
Do you
on the
recall?
floor.
For that steel building?
Yes.
It was expensive because we were going the full width. It was close to $16,000 or $18,000.
Yeah.
But that was going the full width is which, and I think it's 20 or 24 foot wide.
And we really don't
Opening.
need it
You
that
don't-
wide.
You guys
We
don't-
keep
No.
the height.
You keep the height, but you
height.
could go, you could narrow it down
Yeah.
to say 14 foot wide
Mhm.
and keep the height.
Yeah,
You go 14
put
by
like a-
14 or something like
they
that.
put like
I
a
mean,
6
unless
or
you guys are
14
trying to
or
harder
16
swath
foot
in
Is
there.
that insulated?
no, just that backhoe is the
Right.
biggest piece of
Right.
equipment.
We
that
want
we
That's what I'm
have
saying,
in
14 by 14 would be sufficient for pretty
Yeah,
much everything.
put it back on.
And semis have to
And
be under 14.
These guys will look and they'll look at all the stuff that's there and maybe they can figure out how to organize it and, get together and go organize it. I don't know. We'll see.
Show up, you got Monday to Thursday.
So, we will go ahead and we're not gonna vote on it. We'll just
there. Table it,
table it.
All right,
works for me.
I make a motion we adjourn
and
that.
then I will say.
Okay. Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
This,
Yep.
your copy,
I should
your
be
first
around.
one, or, I don't know.
Are you,
Yeah, this is
are you
mine.
available?
He wanted
Friday?
it around,
It should be
had it
Friday.
takes down on fire,
Thanks for
and
hanging.
ambulance
Yeah.
call, he'll be around.
And it won't be till after.
So do I have to have
because
this one signed?
But
Right when you asked.
Yeah.
So do I have,
Seal that.
do I have to have this
I
part
would
signed
be-
then?